Hello, moms. Welcome back to Destiny Busy Moms YouTube channel. It's been a while. Yes, I know. Welcome back. I am, for those of you that don't know me, I am Coach Sandra, an intentional living coach. I am also a childcare consultant, and I am basically a lot of things to so many people. But more importantly, is that I am a mom of 3, and I am living my life intentionally on a daily basis. Destiny Busy Moms is a dream for me to see more moms, especially young moms, live their lives more intentionally on a daily basis. So if you're here for the first time, say hello in the comments and I'll be sure to hello you back. All right, so welcome to today's video. In today's video, I want to talk about how moms, intentional moms, should begin to set boundaries that will help them live more intentionally. Are you ready? Let's go into the video. So for a long time, I have lived my life trying to please everyone around me, from my husband to my children, even my parents and siblings, friends, colleagues, basically everyone around me. But I had to come to a point in my life where I realized that setting boundaries is not a sin. Setting boundaries is not wrong, because in the long run it's going to help you live intentionally day by day. How can you live intentionally if your day, your time, your resources, your efforts, everything is dictated or predetermined by someone else's welfare or well-being, neglecting yours? And don't get me wrong, so there is a difference between being selfless and being and setting boundaries, basically. Okay, being selfless just means that you are committed to serving and to helping and all that, but setting boundaries helps you to create the balance, in the sense that you're not just wearing yourself out, you are not thinking of yourself last. You're putting your interests and your well-being, especially emotional well-being, in front. Because we always say that no one can pour from an empty cup, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. I can't pour from an empty cup. And you know how motherhood can be very draining, right? And you're doing all manner of things for all manner of people, but neglecting yourself. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about setting boundaries, intentional boundaries that are going to help you fulfill your day-to-day life, your dreams, your destiny. And at the end of the day, you're not going to look back and start cursing at yourself or regretting that you didn't live to your fullest potential, because everyone is going to keep drawing from you. And I'm sure if you got somebody who was also giving to you, you wouldn't hesitate to collect. So that's exactly what every other person is doing out there. Everyone is looking out for themselves. Daddy is looking out for himself, mom is looking out for herself, siblings, same thing, your husband, your children, everyone wants a piece of you. And that's okay, as long as you have boundaries such that you also consider yourself in all of this. Because we have family, we have friends, we have relationships basically with people, and we cannot do without sacrificing one thing or the other at some point for them. That's okay. But how about if you have some structured boundaries that don't make you neglect yourself when you're trying to help somebody, or you're trying to fix something that somebody needs you to fix, or do something that somebody needs you to do? How about that balance? That's what helps us live our lives more intentionally on a daily basis, because we're able to pay more attention on what matters to us. And so even though we're helping others fulfill their own dreams and their desires and their goals and all that, and we're happy about it, we are also doing same on our own end. So we're not lagging behind, and there's no reason to ever go back and say that we regret anything whatsoever. Okay, so that's basically the difference. And every intentional mom ought to set these boundaries such that they are not crossed by anybody, not for anything, not out of selfishness, not out of greed or anything like that, but out of the desire for you to want to fulfill destiny. The reason many of us moms struggle with setting boundaries is just because of the way we were raised. permit me to say so, because I have observed that ladies or girls are usually raised to be self-sacrificing, and we want to please everybody. We want to give up our own personal goals and our personal dreams, just so that our family's goals, our dreams, their respective goals and dreams soar, or so that they see the light of day. Okay, regardless of whether our own does see the light of day. Okay, we're raised as mothers, especially in the African setting, to always shoulder the emotional well-being and emotional health of our family members, our loved ones. The moment you are seen doing well from your emotions and to the outside, everyone kind of looks in a funny way, especially if your immediate family kind of has, some odd, or I would say opposite mood of what you're really experiencing. I'll give an instance. So let's say your home is not really the ideal home, in quotes. Not that it's bad, but somehow, how career women run their homes, especially when they don't have help. Assistance from anybody. How the home kind of struggles, right? So when everyone sees that mom doing so well, and they're looking at the home front and they're like, the home is suffering, like there is no house help to kind of help with the chores or food, or all those things, all the chores basically. And people are saying this woman is busy blossoming in her workplace, in her career, and all manner of things. They're looking at you like one very evil person or a greedy person. That's just the mentality. They don't expect that you should be doing well when things are not so well on the home front. And I agree to some point, but on some other aspect of this particular scenario, you would also agree with me that if this is this woman's dream and she has to pursue it, even if she's not the main breadwinner or sole provider, it still gives her fulfillment. And so if she has decided to fulfill that aspect of her life career-wise, only at the maybe not like 100% detriment of her family, though she's doing her best, the children are doing their best, husband is helping out, but it's not just the same as when a mom is a stay-at-home mom. You understand what I mean? So the fact that she is fulfilling her dream should be the joy of anybody who has the interest of the mom at heart. But we are in a society where if the home is not flourishing, well, not to the context or percentage of what people expect, they feel that you're not doing so well, and they feel like you should not be happy as the mother. You should not be happy. But I beg to differ, because that's just you fulfilling your dreams, right? You allowing your light to shine. Yes, you can do it as a stay-at-home mom, but what if you're not cut out for that? Okay, so it's basically two ends of a rod. But all I'm saying is that we've been raised in a culture, most girls, most moms, to self-sabotage or self-sacrifice, and at the end of the day it becomes a self-sabotage, because we see ourselves many years afterwards and we are not fulfilled. Okay, so it's understandable why moms struggle with setting boundaries. But I'll come again from the angle of emotional health, because if you are the cup and what you have to give is the content of the cup, if you're not emotionally balanced, you cannot give your family what they need because you don't have it. So I would always advocate for moms, intentional moms, setting boundaries that will help them not lose themselves, not lose their focus, not lose their goals, not even lose their dreams. Because at the end of the day, this is our destiny that we're talking about. And so we're not going to sabotage that or jeopardize that for the fact that some other person needs to live their own lives. Okay, if that's not your calling, especially, okay, I mean, there are exceptions, but generally speaking, generically now, you need to be able to set boundaries so that you can be healthy, emotionally sound, to be able to handle responsibilities and other people's struggles and help them out of it. Because if you're also struggling, then you are not going to be able to help somebody else. So protect your space, protect your emotional energy. The Bible says something that I consider very profound when it says in Proverbs 4, I think it's 23, where it says that we should guard our hearts with all diligence. Like all diligence, guard it seriously, because out of it are the issues of life. Out of it flows the issues of life. Out of your heart, your mouth is going to speak. And just imagine a scenario where there are, let's say, family members or colleagues or whoever coming up to you with negative energy and coming to pollute your own positive energy. Before you know it, you are reacting and you are doing all manner of things that normally you wouldn't do. I mean, a sane you would not do. And that's because you're not protecting your boundaries. You're not protecting your emotional health. You want to please everybody, and so you sit down and hear everybody's challenge, and before you know it, they're pouring on their negative energy on you and you're not able to shake it off. Okay, so you need to know your emotional health boundary. If I know that when you come with some negative energy, it's going to weigh me down, I would rather maybe get help for you instead of attempting or trying to be the help when I cannot be that for you. I hope you get me. So these are the boundaries that you should be able to set. If a colleague comes to you and is pouring out his heart or her heart, it's fine to help, but help at the limit of the boundaries where you have drawn. I'm sorry, I cannot go beyond this. I'll give you a simple example. So there is a colleague of mine who came up to me sometime and said that I should help him do something. Mind you, we both had the deadline to do this particular thing, and I had already done mine, okay? But I also had other things to do. I mean, if I had planned myself such that I have extra time to do other things, and those things are also important, why couldn't you also set times and programs in place and to-dos, just to help you get your own done? And now I'm telling you that I'm not able to do it because I'm not able to help you do yours, because I also have other things that I saved my time for, and that's why I did my own part, and so that I can, do other things. But because I'm not able to do it for you, you now bring on that negative energy, and you're like, I'm not nice, I'm not helpful. You know how people can be? They kind of make you feel bad, as if helping them is an obligation. Okay, it's supposed to be a choice based on your limits and your boundaries. Okay, I had to get to a point where I could actually do this, because once upon a time I would want to help you out, want to help that out, want to help this one out, want to help this one out, and at the end of the day I don't have extra time to do other things for myself. This applies in our homes, it applies in our marriages, it applies in every other thing. I'm not saying that you should not help. If you have free time, if you have free resources, if you have, if you just want to sacrifice, it's totally fine. But if there are other things that are going to suffer, I'm just saying, what's the wisest thing to do? It's to just set priorities and know the things that you can trade for some things. So if I were in a position where that my colleague needed my help and I had that extra time, there were no other things that I had to attend to urgently also, then that was fine. I could have done it, okay? And I could even decide still not to do it for personal reasons, because if we both have the same deadlines to get something done, and we were taught how to do these things, and we are expected to do these things, and we'll be assessed, I'm not sure why I should even be doing it for you. You can ask for my help, and I can volunteer to give you a few tips and just help you out a little, but not the entire thing. And this is what people do. They dump their troubles on you, they dump their issues on you, and they expect you to carry them at the expense of your own self. That's not it. As moms, we need to be able to set the boundaries of help, as in sacrificing, and help as in not emotionally neglecting ourselves. This is the boundary that's going to help us emotionally going forward, because the truth is, the journey of motherhood is far. You're going to be a mother for how long? Who knows when? As long as you have a child, you will continually be a mother. Okay, and that is why we must raise children who are not totally dependent on us as moms. As you're growing, or as your children are growing, ensure that they're able to do some things on their own, so that they don't depend on you too many times or too much of the time for the things that they can actually do themselves. Protect your time, protect your energy, protect your space, protect your health, emotional health. Protect everything that you need to thrive on a daily basis. And then teach your children how to do same, how to do things on their own, so that they don't depend on you too much. Having said all that, you need to also model this to your kids. Let them know that it's not everything mom attends to. It's not everything that you can just barge into mom's room or mom's space and expect that mom will give you an answer right away or solve it right away. Help them know that they can actually face some challenges or some issues by themselves also. This modeling will definitely help them realize that life is just about creating healthy boundaries. And if you're going to keep being relevant and fulfilling your dreams and ensuring that your own life also counts, you have got to protect your boundaries. Set boundaries and protect them. All right? So this is what I brought to you today. I know that you have gained something, you have learned something, and I'm sure if you have any questions, I'll be seeing them in the comments. Please put them in the comments so that I can attend to them. And there's also an intentional mom community. I'll be leaving the link in the comments, or maybe in the description box. I beg your pardon. So please check. If you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? This is an intentional mom community where I, Coach Sandra, and other intentional moms come together to help ourselves, to support ourselves with all manner of tips and strategies and just everything we need to be able to live intentionally on a daily basis. We come together, we support ourselves, we're growing this community, and we're hoping that more intentional moms will join us in the nearest future. So please join and call another mom. Invite another mom to join. All right, I'm going to be seeing you in the next video. Please watch out for that, and I'll see you. Bye.